All right, hello, Metal Maniacs. It's the Meista from Brews and Tunes. Cheers. Absolutely thrilled today. I am chatting with Chris Devore and Eddy Batista. Did I pronounce that correctly? From the metal band, California metal band Wild Charge. How you guys doing?
Fucking kicking ass. How you doing,
Pretty
man?
good.
Awesome, awesome. Yeah, I got a frosty beer and I'm chatting with some fellow metalheads. Couldn't be
Oh
better.
yeah.
So
Oh,
first off, I gotta say, congratulations on the release of City Hunter. I know it came out a little while ago, but new single from the band. Killer song. Totally digging it. And that's of course for the forthcoming album, which I believe is titled TM93. Is that correct?
that's a working title, but we'll probably go with it. Probably
Okay,
go with it. Yeah. Yeah.
nice, nice. So yeah, tell me a little bit about well, one, when do you have a release date for the album?
Not yet. Thinking sometime in July, maybe.
Okay, so soon, fairly soon, coming up this summer. Yeah, I'm excited for the full release. Yeah, because I've been really digging City Hunter. I think it's a killer song.
Thank
Of
you.
course, you've got also I know you guys have a you put out a single, what, in like 2020, Samurai Steel?
Yeah. uh, that's an old single, man. I was still learning how to record back then,
Hmm.
and it was just a tester. I actually don't know how to take it down, but we're re-recording that song.
Oh,
So
okay, yeah, cool song. Yeah, I dig the song. So nice. So, and will that also be on the album?
yes, the re-recorded version will be on the album.
Oh, okay. Very cool. Very cool. So yeah, let's jump into that and talk a little bit about TM93, or the working title TM93. So one thing I'm really curious about with the band, and pardon my ignorance with this, I'm an old guy. But it seems like and especially with your name as well, that there's kind of, you guys kind of which also I think puts you apart from other bands, is your, I don't know if it's an obsession, but your focus on Japanese culture, and especially Japanese pop culture. So which I find really interesting. So I wanted to ask you about that, especially, I need to ask my son, because I think the name of the band as well as the name of the album is a reference to Pokemon, correct?
Yeah, yeah, it is. So that was a really big thing when this band I started a long time ago. I've been doing this for like 11, 12 years now, maybe.
Okay.
And I honestly, I was a kid one day. I was playing the game, and I saw that. I'm like, I'm gonna name my band that one day. So I kind of like promised myself as a kid I would, and now I am an adult and have a band named after Pokemon.
It's a great name, though. I think and again, pardon my ignorance. What does it mean? What does Wild Charge mean? I don't even know what it means.
In the game, it's just an attack. It's like an electric attack. They
Okay.
electrocute you.
Oh,
I just thought it was cool.
yeah, perfect for a metal band. Yeah, electric. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's exactly what it is, right? Yeah, yeah, and that's what your band should be, an attack, a metal
yeah.
attack. Yeah, I love that. That's cool. Cool. And what does TM93 reference?
That's actually the in the game. A TM is how you teach a move, and that's the move Wild Charge. It's
Oh,
a reference within a reference.
okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
Cool.
We're gonna be doing
So,
a lot of referencing.
yeah, a lot of referencing in this band.
Okay, nice, nice. Yeah, learn something new every day. I love it. I love it. Yeah, that's really interesting. And I know, like, yeah, with the other single you had released before, Samurai Steel, obviously samurai, Japanese culture.
Yeah.
And speaking of Japan, you guys just announced some pretty exciting news. You are
Yeah.
going to Japan very soon, correct?
Yeah, we
Yes,
are.
we are.
It's gonna be cool.
So you're doing
I'm
shows,
there.
multiple shows in Japan, correct?
At least two. I'm working on possibly a third while we're there, just
Okay,
because we have a couple days off in between.
nice,
So
nice.
yeah, we'll be in Nagoya July 31st, and we'll be in Tokyo August 3rd.
Okay,
So
very cool. And
it'll
if
be,
people want
be fun.
information about that, they can go to your Facebook page or your Instagram page, and there's more information, especially if
Yeah,
in Japan.
and we'll
Definitely.
be pushing that for the next couple months.
Okay,
So
cool, very cool. Now, are you opening for somebody? Are you the headlining band at these?
uh, in Nagoya, we'll be the headliner, and then in Tokyo, we'll be opening for a friend of mine's band. That's actually how this whole thing started. I was drinking with him at a bar in Tokyo, and he's like, "Hey, this summer, dude, I want you guys to come open for us." I'm like, "You're full of shit." And I get home, and he's like, "No, here's all the details." I'm like, "Oh shit, I guess I'm going to fucking Tokyo." Hit this guy up, and he's like, "Let's do it."
Nice. Oh, that's badass. That's cool. I love that. that is, especially, I mean, and yeah, it's so apropos with, with a band that has, this focus on Japanese culture, pop culture. Yeah, perfect. That's the perfect venue for you guys. I like that'll be really cool. I would imagine, yeah, do you have, do you have a following in Japan? Is there interest in the band?
There is a little bit. And I told, again, this was an invite from my friend's band to open for them. And I told him, we have a small following there. And he said, don't worry about it. I'll make it happen. I was like, all right, man, let's do it.
Cool.
So we're going to definitely be pushing that audience a lot.
Very cool. Very cool. So, yeah, so let's kind of circle back. Tell me a little bit more about TM93, kind of what the other tracks are like on there, kind of, kind of what the focus of the band is.
I feel like right now we've kind of shared the more pop culture side of the album. I think there's some other songs that we haven't really shown off that we used to play live, like What the Moon Brings and Crystal Witch, that show kind of another side of the band. So we're excited to show that side more. But like right now, yeah, it is kind of Japan culture, pop culture heavy, at least on that side.
Okay.
I think the release schedule of our upcoming singles kind of coincidentally happened to be the Japanese related songs.
Yeah.
Okay. Like Samurai Steel is about an actual guy who existed. Then we had City Hunter, that's an anime, and now we have Stardust coming out next month, and that's also based off of an anime. But the rest of the album is going to be a lot more serious material. We got a song called Crystal Witch, and that's where we live in California. There's a really big meth problem. And so that song is more or less about the meth problem in the neighborhood that we grew up in.
Okay.
Yeah, this county they were gonna film Breaking Bad in this county, and the one thing about Breaking Bad is meth. So
yeah,
right, yeah, wow, oh, that's cool. That's cool. Yeah, I'm excited to hear that. When and you said that's coming out fairly soon.
Yeah, we'll probably release that one as another single. Yeah, we haven't decided on the rest of the singles. We do have a single coming out. It's supposed to be this month. I lost my voice during the recording process, so unfortunately, it's going to have to come out in April now. But yeah, so we'll have more singles coming out once we decide on the singles list versus what'll just be on the album.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Very cool. Yeah, I'm excited for the release. So, yeah, like you said, sometime in July, hopefully, is when the album will come out. So yeah, very cool.
Definitely want it out before we go to Japan. So
nice. Yeah, that'll be good. That'll be good.
We have to have something to sell to make our money back. So
yeah, you gotta definitely take at least something with you. Yeah, take some merch, take some t-shirts, and yeah, if you have the album, that's even better. So tell me a little about you mentioned the band started in 2011, 2012 ish. Tell me about what was the impetus of the band starting? How did the band start?
So I was going to Musician Institute, and at the time I was kind of just staying on a friend's couch in Hollywood. He was also a student, and gent was becoming a thing. And like everybody's like, dude, check out my new 8-string guitar. This one guy, I remember very specifically, he had a custom-made 10-string guitar, and I was like, that's cool, man.
Wow.
But it just seemed like everybody was trying to become like, who can tune the lowest, who can chug the hardest, and I just remember drinking with my friend one day. I'm like, man, everybody's just trying to like go lower and slower. What if we just said, fuck all that. Let's start over. Let's go back to the beginning. So then we're like, yeah, dude, let's do traditional heavy metal.
Nice.
We were both really big into Judas Priest and Iron Maiden. And so we're like, fuck it, dude, let's do a old school heavy metal band. And then after MI, like everybody else that was in the band were from Europe. And obviously after school, their student visas expired. Okay. They all had to go back to Europe, and I was like, well, fuck, I'm left here with a band. I hit this guy up. I've known him since high school. We've been in tons of bands, like when we were in high school and shit. So I'm like, dude, he's just as big of an Iron Maiden fan as me, bigger than I am when it comes to Iron Maiden. I'm like, let's fucking do this, man. Cool. So we just been carrying the torch ever since.
Yep.
Nice. I love it. That's great. Well, take me back a little, and this question's for both of you. Take me back even further. Like, I'm really curious. Did you both come from, maybe we'll start with you, Eddy. Did you come from a musical family? Like, what was, and you're the bassist. Just I forgot to introduce you as the bassist. So yeah, what was your start in music? Did you start playing bass? Kind of how did it all start for you?
So for me, honestly, I was always alert. by music and stuff. Before I got into metal, before I started listening into like specific stuff, I always was drawn to video game music or movie soundtrack music and shit. I would always remember humming that stuff. And it wasn't until I think my dad showed me The Doors that I was like, oh, this is like a thing, basically. And I was a kid. I was like 8, maybe 10. I don't know. And I remember hearing The Trooper on the radio. And I think I had a guitar then. And I remember I was like plucking it. And I was like, oh, dude, this sounds like this. Oh, that sounds like that. Like, I'm fucking playing the fucking song now. And eventually when I met Christian, he told me, yeah, dude, that's good. Like, that's how you learn, you know? And that's kind of where it started. So I don't come from a musical family or anything like that. I come from like a working family, basically.
Mm-hmm.
So for them, that was kind of like, oh, like put that away, basically. But I had people in my life that kind of, showed me the ropes, showed me like, hey, dude, yeah, that's cool. Keep doing that. And honestly, I just saw the opportunity. Hey, you need a singer, you need a bass player, you need a guitarist here or there. I'm your guy, basically.
Okay.
So that's kind of where I come from.
Very cool. Very cool. And you two met in high school, right?
Outside of high school.
Yeah,
honestly.
actually, we ended up at the same high school, but we met outside of high school.
Yeah.
Okay.
One day I was living in a van, basically, and I saw a bunch of long-haired dudes walking down the street. And I was like, oh, they look just like me. So like I followed them one day and they were fucking going to a rehearsal, basically.
Oh,
and I started hanging out with them.
Yeah. And one day I saw him at school with a guitar. I'm like, hey, can you play bass? He's like, yeah, I have a bass. I'm like, fuck it, dude, you're in my band now.
right on. That's really cool. What about you, Chris? What was your start in music?
I do have musicians in my family, but my start in music was definitely just my dad. He's not a musician. I mean, he can sing and play drums, but he's not a musician.
He can sing.
But just, since I was a little kid, it was like, oh, you like this song? You know what band this is? You know what band this is? Like he would just always quiz me on music and shit. And like, it just made me like learn from a young age, like what bands I liked, what bands I didn't like. And I just remember I was around 5 years old and I was just like really jamming out to this Van Halen song in his truck. And he's like, you like that? I'm like, yeah, I like that. He's like, you want to do that? I'm like, yeah, I'd love to do that. And he just pulled over to the nearest pawn shop and bought me a guitar. And I've just been like addicted to guitar ever since.
Nice.
So cool. Yeah. That's basically how I started playing music. And then I found out later on that like my cousins also were musicians, but I didn't find that out until like, I was older and started focusing on other people, not just my guitar.
Nice. That's cool. I love that encouragement that, that your dad's like,
Yeah, he's been like my biggest pusher my whole life, man.
Yeah,
like,
cool.
Even when I'm not ready, he's like, hey, man, is your band ready? I'm like, Dad, we have 2 songs. Cool. My friend said you can open for them. I'm like, yeah, we have 2 songs. Well, you better learn some covers.
That's good. I like that. I like your dad. He sounds like a cool guy.
Very cool.
Yeah. I mean, I love the fact that he's there's so many, you hear about so many musicians where their parents were like, no, you can't, you're never going to amount to anything. You can't do this. This is crazy. Yeah. And it's cool to have that kind of encouragement, from a parental figure that like, no, go for it. Let's do this. Yeah. That's really cool.
It's funny because for him, you're encouraged. And for me, it was like, I was discouraged, but if anything, it made me want to fucking do it more, like,
right. Yeah. That rebellious spirit. I like it.
Yeah.
It's cool. Yeah. I'm kind of the same. I'm not a musician, but yeah, I totally get that. I was, as a kid, growing up in the 80s, 70s and 80s. Yeah. Where, my mom was like, very much opposed to me listening to metal and, heavy music. And so that just made me want more, and grow my hair out. And so,
you gotta carry that torch, man.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's cool. I love that. So and there's a third member who's not here today. That's Joseph, the drummer. So how did you meet him? How did he become part of this?
So we had a drummer before him, and he left to do another project. That's cool. You can do him. And I had just posted on Instagram very simply. I'm like, hey, we're looking for a drummer, and our old drummer's like, hey, check this guy out. So I'm like, all right, fuck it. I drive out to LA, meet this guy, and I'm like, yeah, my drummer said you're a friend of his. He's like, I don't know who that is. Turns out they just mutually had each other, but didn't know they had each other. And he had just posted he needed a band. I had just posted that I needed a drummer. So through some weird divine luck, our old drummer introduced us to this guy.
Oh, wow. That's cool. Nice.
He ended up just like instantly clicking with us.
Really cool guy.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. Yeah.
He's
definitely got
he's
the
not
chops.
actually in the band anymore.
Okay.
He recently moved to Nashville, but we're still working with him. So like, you know, we have an agreement, you know, like if we have a show, he'll come out here, and we're probably going to try and start doing shows out in Nashville. Now that he has a base out there, we may drive out to Nashville and do some shows with him.
Oh, very cool. And now is he going to Japan as well?
Unfortunately not. He was going to, but work kind of got in the way.
Gotcha.
So yeah, we're talking to a session guy I know.
Oh, okay. Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. Oh yeah. The Japan thing. Yeah, you guys are gonna have to you'll have to post some footage of you guys playing.
There will be footage.
Yeah, that's really exciting. That's exciting. And I know you've you know, speaking of, you know, you mentioned you know, talking about your dad and you know, when you had just 2 songs and you know, well, learn some covers. So that made me think about opening, you know, you guys have opened for some pretty heavy hitters. You know, one of my favorite all-time bands, Raven. I know you guys recently opened for them, and as well as I think Dokken, right? You guys opened for Dokken and Hellstar, and all sorts of cool bands. Yeah, tell me a little bit about the kind of getting into the circuit as far as, you know, playing shows, because you guys have played the Whiskey, right? And some cool venues there in California. So yeah, kind of tell me a little bit about kind of getting into the scene as far as playing with some of these big bands and how you kind of were able to latch onto that.
So for those shows, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, they kind of fell into our laps. Originally they did. You know, at first we were just playing like small little bar gigs here and there. You know, I would befriend some promoters. They'd be like, "Oh, dude, come play at this bar." And obviously the old, "Hey, man, we're going to need you to sell some ticket shows." You know, our first big show was opening for Animals as Leaders. And I'm not going to lie, I don't even remember how I got that show. I just remember somebody hitting me up saying, "Hey, we need a band." And it was a big festival. There was like 50 bands, but they were like the big headliner. And we only played like maybe 5 people before them. That was really fun as, you know, a 19-year-old, especially when they were like, that was when they were like the big thing. And then Raven, that was our old drummer. He was like, "Yeah, I got a guy who can book us shows at the Whiskey." And he got me in contact with him. And I, you know, struck up a professional relationship with him. And he just started hooking us up with shows at the Whiskey. Raven was probably one of my favorite shows we ever did.
Yeah.
And, you know, big shout out to them, dude. Like, they were some of the coolest guys. You know, while we're playing, I'm looking up and like they're all 3 standing at like the top level of the Whiskey, just watching us play. And after we play, we're in our rehearsal, we're in our green room, just high-fiving. And all of a sudden they just come in like, "Hey, we loved you guys. Can we get a picture with you?" And I'm sure they do that with every band. But to me, I was like, hell yeah. Nice. You know? And then after the show, dude, like we're like loading up our shit. And then I see them loading up theirs. I'm like, "Hey, you guys fucking need a hand." And like, we ended up just hanging out with like Raven the rest of the night. It was fucking cool.
Pretty gnarly, man.
Yeah, that's really, the Gallagher brothers are like the nicest guys in the world.
The nicest guys in the world, man. So sweet.
Yeah, it's super.
And also the most energy I've ever seen from a band.
Yeah, I want to carry that kind of energy. Like,
yeah, man. I remember asking them after the show, I'm like, "Bro, like, I wish I had your energy at my age. Like, how the hell do you move so much and sing? I'm out of breath 4 songs in."
Yeah. John's in his 60s. Yeah, it's crazy.
It's crazy how much energy they have.
Yeah, I saw them I guess a little over a year ago at a small bar in Salt Lake City. And I was blown away by, I mean, considering these guys are in their 60s. I mean, you know, their drummer's younger, but you know, John and Mark are in their 60s and they have the same amount of energy that like when you watch old footage of them, you know, on the BBC and, you know, 1980
running around the audience while playing, and he's got that head mic so he can sing while he's running around fucking playing. That's great.
Yeah. And then, same thing. They hung out like after the show and just talked to people. and
Yeah.
you get a picture with them, and they were just so down to earth and just so friendly. It was really cool. Yeah, I took my son, and he was amazed to he met every single, all three of them, got his picture with all of them, and just he was so blown away because he's never met a band like that before. So he thought that.
Especially a band so humble too, like just
Yeah.
the nicest guys. Like they don't put themselves above their fans. They're just like, yeah, dude, let's hang out. It was
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah. I wish they were more popular than they are, because I think they deserve it. I mean,
They definitely deserve to be more popular.
yeah, I mean, they started it, I mean, I mean, Metallica opened for them,
Yeah.
1982, whatever year it was, the Kill 'Em All for One
From
tour.
all for one. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's amazing that they're playing bars, and Metallica's playing stadiums. It's like something doesn't seem right. But
Yeah.
that's just my personal opinion. But yeah,
I agree.
yeah, it's cool that you guys got to open for them. That's awesome. That's really cool. Is there any footage of you guys playing live, like that show or any other shows on YouTube?
There is on our Facebook.
Okay, nice.
Clips. Yeah, just people that were at the show would tag us, and then I'd save it and then post it on our Facebook. So
Nice.
there's small clips here and there on our Facebook of that show.
Very
I
cool.
think that was one of our best shows too. It was great. It's a fun time.
Very cool. So tell me, do you guys have any, obviously you have the Japanese shows coming up. Do you have any other shows on the horizon right now?
In the coming weeks, months, no. We are specifically trying to get this album done. That being said, we are trying to hopefully do some shows soon, just to start preparing to start playing live again. Once we work out some stuff with the drummers, either one, we're going to try and maybe do some shows come May or June.
Okay, nice. Very cool.
Maybe even April if we're ready by then.
Oh yeah, I'm down.
Yeah, we want some shows soon.
Yeah, very cool. Do you have anything lined up for, post Japan? Do you have any like festivals or anything like that?
No, we don't. We've been so focused on just recording the last couple months, man. Like everything's just been shut out. It's just been writing and recording the last few months.
Yeah, makes sense. That makes sense.
And obviously having our drummer just move to Nashville was kind of like a little wrench in the cog, but we're sorting that out.
Nice. Yeah, it sounds like you guys have a good focus and a good plan, as far as kind of what you want to do with that. So that's really cool. Nice. Yeah. So yeah, where can people find you if they want to check you guys out?
Yeah, so they can find us on Instagram. It's wild_charge_metal. There is another Wild Charge out there in Florida, I guess. Some rappers.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, so don't get it mixed up. We're Wild Charge Metal. And you can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/Wild Charge Metal.
Cool. Very cool. Oh, there you go.
Honestly, you can find us on YouTube, but we don't have a YouTube channel, but our stuff's on YouTube. So
okay. Yeah, I think I'd seen City Hunter. I know the song's been posted on YouTube.
Yeah.
As well as Samurai Steel, and also on Spotify, right? You guys are also on Spotify.
Oh yeah. That's good. Yeah, we're on Spotify, iTunes, all that stuff, man. If you could stream it, we're on it. So
great.
Definitely.
Right. Yeah. So definitely, for those of you watching, check these guys out. Go to your favorite streaming service and check out their two songs that are out there right now. And of course the upcoming album in July. I'll have links in the description below, so people can just click on those links and go right to your pages and check that stuff out. So I did want to ask you before I let you go. I have one more question for you both. I don't know if you're beer drinkers, but my page is Brews and Tunes. So I pair craft beer with heavy metal. So I'm going to put you on the spot. And so it's a Friday night. You're just chilling, hanging out. What beer are you drinking, and what album are you spinning?
Oh shit! Friday night.
So I'm drinking whatever's free.
Whatever's on tap.
Yeah, whatever's on tap. Maybe some Trooper beer, maybe some whiskey.
Oh, all right.
And then what am I spinning, dude? Probably Loudness.
Oh, right on.
Yeah, this is my favorite band.
Very cool.
Oh yeah.
Oh, dude, I put on Power Slave.
Oh, that's a great album.
Oh yeah, I love Power Slave. One of my favorites.
I'll be drinking like maybe like something light, like a Blue Moon or I don't know, Modelo.
Mm.
But I'll be spinning Power Slave.
Right
Oh,
on.
yeah.
Cheers to that. Oh yeah, I've got my
Okay,
Iron
cheers.
Maiden glass. So
Hell yeah.
Oh, yeah.
well, Chris and Eddie, this has been awesome chatting with you guys. Thank you so very much. And yeah, for everybody watching, check these guys out. Check out Wild Charge. You're probably going to see a lot more of them. They've got some killer tunes, and yeah, I'm really excited for the album to come out later this summer. Yeah, good luck with the tour and everything. I look forward to doing a follow-up interview with you guys once the album's released.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Looking forward to it, man.
All
We're
right.
not going anywhere.
And thanks for having us.
Yeah.
And thank you. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.